Commander Elena Vasquez stared at the screen in front of her. The numbers made no sense. She rubbed her tired eyes and looked again. Still the same. A transmission signal from 47 years ago, buried in old data files that nobody had bothered to check. The research station Kepler's Promise floated quietly in deep space. Elena had been working here for 3 years now. Most days were boring. She analyzed old probe data, checked energy readings, and filed reports that nobody read. But today was different. "Computer, play the transmission," she said. Static filled the room. Then a voice, desperate and afraid. "This is colony ship New Dawn. We are under attack. Unknown vessels firing without warning. Our shields are failing. 50,000 souls on board. Please, someone help us. This is our first contact with alien life, and they are killing us. They are." The transmission ended. Just silence. After that, Elena felt cold. She had studied history. Everyone knew that humanity's first contact with aliens happened in 21 and 56. The Centauri came in peace. They shared technology. They welcomed humans to the Galactic Council. That was the official story. That was what every child learned in school. But this transmission was from 2140. 16 years before first contact. She played it again. And again. Each time, the fear in that voice made her stomach hurt. 50,000 people, a whole colony ship, gone. Elena searched the databases. Nothing about a ship called New Dawn. Nothing about an attack in 2140. It was like the ship never existed, but she had the transmission. It was real. She dug deeper. Old files, backup systems, data that had been sitting in storage for decades. Finally, she found something. A listening post near the outer colonies had picked up the signal. The post was automated. It recorded everything, but nobody ever checked all the files. There was too much data. The New Dawn had sent out escape pods. The transmission showed 12 pods launching. Elena found more recordings. The pods sent their own signals, begging for help. One by one, those signals stopped. Hunting them down, she realized. Someone had hunted down every single escape pod, except one pod kept transmitting longer than the others. The people inside knew they would die, so they sent everything. Video files, ship logs, sensor data, all of it compressed and broadcast in every direction, hoping someone would find it someday. Elena downloaded everything. The video files were hard to watch. Families holding each other, children crying, the ship breaking apart, and the attacking vessels. Clear as day in the recordings, sleek warships with strange markings. She ran the markings through the identification system. The computer found a match. Krell Dominion, a powerful military group inside the Galactic Council. The same council that humanity now belonged to. Elena sat back in her chair. Her hands were shaking. This was not just an attack. This was murder. And then someone had erased it from history, scrubbed it clean, made it disappear. She needed to report this. But to who? If the council had hidden this, they might hide her too. Make her disappear, like they made the New Dawn disappear. She encrypted all the data, copied it to secure drives, sent coded messages to people she trusted. Then she prepared an official report. 2 days later, her commanding officer called. General Morrison appeared on the screen. His face was hard to read. "Commander Vasquez, I received your report." "Yes, sir. I verified everything." Morrison was quiet for a moment. "I know. We found your data in our systems 3 hours after you sent it. We've been checking it ourselves. What do we do, sir? You did the right thing bringing this to us. But Elena, this goes higher than you can imagine. The Joint Chiefs are involved now. Earth Defense Command. Even the civilian government." Elena felt relief wash over her. They believed her. They would do something. Sir, those people on the New Dawn, they deserve justice. Morrison nodded slowly. They do, and they will get it. But Commander, you need to understand something. This changes everything. Everything we thought we knew about First Contact was a lie. The galaxy let this happen. They covered it up. That tells us who we are really dealing with out here. What happens now? Now we remember them. All 50,000. And we make sure the galaxy never forgets either. The transmission ended. Elena looked out the window of the station. Stars everywhere. Beautiful and cold. Somewhere out there, the New Dawn had died. Somewhere out there, the people who killed them were still alive. Still free. Still unpunished. She thought about the voice in that transmission. The fear. The confusion. First Contact was supposed to be humanity's greatest moment. Instead, it was a massacre. Elena pulled up the list of names. The New Dawn's passenger manifest. She read them slowly. Marcus Chen, age 7. Sarah Williams, age 34. David Okonkwo, age 41. On and on. 50,000 names. 50,000 lives. I will remember you, she whispered. We all will. Outside her window, the stars burned cold and distant. They had seen what happened to the New Dawn. They had watched in silence. But silence was ending now. Humanity knew the truth, and the truth demanded an answer. Counselor then walked through the massive halls of the Galactic Council building. His scales reflected the blue light from the crystal walls. He had walked these halls for 30 years. Today, they felt different. Colder somehow. His assistant hurried beside him. Counselor, the emergency session begins in 10 minutes. The humans have... I know what the humans have found, then interrupted. His voice was sharp. I was there when we buried it. The assistant went quiet. Everyone knew about the New Dawn incident. Everyone in power anyway. It was the secret nobody talked about. The mistake that could never be mentioned. Then entered the council chamber. Representatives from 47 species filled the room. Beings of every shape and size. Some breathed oxygen. Others needed special suits. But they all shared one thing. They all knew humanity was about to become a problem. Admiral Cross, then of the Krell Dominion, stood at the center. His people were warriors. Large, armored, proud. They had never lost a battle in 300 years. The humans have stolen classified data, Cross then announced. His voice echoed through the chamber. They accuse us of crimes. They demand justice for an incident that never officially happened. Because you erased it. Someone shouted from the back. Cross's then's face darkened. We protected the council. The New Dawn entered Krell's space without permission. They ignored our warnings. What happened was unfortunate but legal under our laws at the time. Then stood up. 50,000 civilians dead. Escape pods hunted like animals. You call that legal? They were uncontacted primitives. The laws did not protect them yet, because we had not contacted them yet. A convenient loophole. The chamber erupted in arguments. Some species supported the Krell. They had their own secrets. Their own first contact incidents that were not clean. Others wanted to make peace with humanity. Offer compensation. Apologize and move forward. Then knew it was too late for apologies. He had seen the human response. Or rather, the lack of response. 3 days since they discovered the truth. 3 days of complete silence from Earth. That silence scared him more than threats would have. Ambassador Talara of the Centauri delegation spoke next. Her people had made official first contact with humans. They liked humans. Thought them curious and clever. We must offer reparations immediately. Full disclosure of what happened. Justice for the victims. Cross then laughed. Justice? From whom? The New Dawn crew is dead. Their government did not exist yet in any form we recognized. Who do we apologize to? To humanity itself, Talara said firmly. And show weakness to a species that is already too bold? No. We show strength. We remind them of their place in the galaxy, then felt sick. This was how it started 47 years ago. Arrogance. The belief that might made right. The Krell had destroyed the New Dawn because they could. Because humans were weak and alone and nobody would care. But humans were not weak anymore. They had spent 47 years building, learning, growing. The species that could not defend one colony ship now had fleets, bases, weapons. What do you propose, Admiral? Then asked quietly. Cross then smiled. Combat Squadron Helix 9. 12 of our finest warships. We position them at the human border. A show of force. The humans will understand what happens when they accuse their betters. You want to threaten them? I want to educate them. We have rules. If they attack our ships, we respond. We destroy their pathetic fleet, and this problem ends. The Council can then claim we acted in self-defense. Then looked around the chamber. Too many faces showed agreement. The galaxy ran on power. The strong did what they wanted. The weak suffered. It had always been this way. The humans have not threatened us, Talara argued. They have been silent. Exactly, Cross then said. They are planning something. We strike first. Show them the price of challenging the Council. The vote came quickly. 32 species supported the Krell plan. 11 opposed it. 4 abstained. The motion passed. Then voted against it. But his vote did not matter. The Council had made its choice. After the session, he returned to his office. The city outside was beautiful. Towers of crystal and light. 1,000 species living together. Peace and prosperity built over millennia. All of it rested on secrets. On buried crimes. On the understanding that some things stayed hidden. His computer showed news from human space. Still nothing. No protests. No angry speeches. No demands for war. Just silence. Then opened a secure channel. An old friend in human territory. They had met years ago, during trade negotiations. She was smart, honest, one of the few humans he respected. Sarah, it is then. Counselor. I wondered if you would call. Your people found out about the New Dawn. Yes. What will they do? Sarah was quiet for a long moment. I do not know. But then, I know my species. We remember things. We hold grudges. And when we are hurt, we hurt back. The Krell are sending warships to your border. I know. We have been watching them deploy. Sarah, please. Talk to your leaders. This can still be solved peacefully. The Council will offer compensation. Apologies. We can make this right. She laughed. It was not a happy sound. Make it right? Then, you erased 50,000 people from history. You pretended they never existed. And now you send warships when we dare to remember them? I did not erase them. I argued against it. But I was overruled. Yet you stayed silent. That hurt because it was true. Then had known about the New Dawn for 47 years. He had done nothing. Said nothing. He was complicit. What can I do now? He asked. Pray that your warships are enough. Because if they are not, the galaxy will learn something about humanity that we tried to hide from you. What is that? We are very, very good at killing. The transmission ended. Then sat in the darkness of his office. Outside, the city lights glowed softly. Beautiful. And peaceful. Innocent. But innocence was a lie. The galaxy ran on blood and violence and buried secrets. He had known that for decades. He had accepted it. Now the bill was coming due. And humanity was holding the ledger. Admiral James Chen sat at the head of the table. Around him were the most powerful military leaders on Earth. Generals, admirals, intelligence directors, the Secretary of Defense. All of them, looking at the evidence displayed on the screens. The new dawn. 50,000 dead. First contact stolen. History erased. Nobody spoke. They had been in this room for 6 hours, looking at the data, watching the videos, reading the logs, listening to the final transmissions from people who knew they were about to die. General Yuki Tanaka broke the silence. "We need to respond." "We will," Chen said quietly. "The question is how. The Krell did this. We demand justice, reparations, arrests. And if they refuse, then we make them pay." Director Sarah Okafor from Intelligence leaned forward. "Our sources say the Krell are deploying a combat squadron to our border. 12 warships. They think we will back down." Chen almost smiled. "Do they? They have no idea what we are capable of. The Council thinks we are children playing with toys. Our technology is centuries behind theirs." "In some areas," Chen agreed, "but not all. Tell them what we have been building." Okafor pulled up new screens. Classified projects, black budget programs, weapons that officially did not exist. After we joined the Council, we analyzed everything they showed us. Their ships, their weapons, their tactics. We found weaknesses, such as their shields are designed for energy weapons, lasers, plasma cannons, particle beams. That is how everyone in the galaxy fights. Energy against energy. But not us. Not us. We use kinetic weapons, railguns, missiles, good old-fashioned bullets moving really fast. Their shields were not built for that. 1. General Tanaka pulled up another file. Project Tombstone. Initiated 7 years ago. We assumed that first contact might be hostile, so we built contingencies. Chen watched the data scroll past. Stealth ships that could hide from any sensor. AI systems that could coordinate entire fleets without human input. Weapons that hit with the force of nuclear bombs but left no radiation. The Krell think they are technologically superior, Tanaka continued. But technology is not everything. We have been fighting wars for 10,000 years. We know things they do not. Epside. Unquote. Epside. Like what? The Secretary of Defense asked. Like how to kill efficiently. The galaxy has been at peace for 3 centuries. They fight wars like games, honor, rules, formal declarations. They do not understand total war. But we do, Chen said. Everyone in the room understood. Humanity's history was written in blood. Wars that killed millions. Weapons designed to destroy entire cities. Humans had nearly wiped themselves out a dozen times. They knew how to fight because fighting was in their bones. Chen stood up. Here is what we are going to do. Nothing. Nothing? Tanaka looked confused. Publicly, nothing. No announcements, no demands, no threats. Let the Council wonder. Let them worry. Silence is a weapon too. And privately, we activate Tombstone Protocol. Get our ships into position. I want 12 of our best vessels ready to engage. If the Krell want to test us, we will give them a lesson they will never forget. The room went quiet again. Everyone knew what that meant. War. Real war. Not the careful, limited conflicts the galaxy was used to, but the kind of war humans understood. Fast. Brutal. Final. Admiral, Okafor said carefully. If we do this, there is no going back. The galaxy will never see us the same way. Good. They should see us clearly. They erased 50,000 of our people. Pretended it never happened. Now they send warships to intimidate us? No. That ends today. Chen pulled up a message screen. He typed quickly. 3 words. Return our dead. Send that to the Krell fleet commander. Let him know we remember. Let him know we care. The message was sent. Chen imagined the Krell admiral reading it, probably laughing. Humans demanding things from their superiors. How amusing. Let him laugh. He would not be laughing for long. Over the next 5 days, humanity moved quietly. 12 ships left their docks. Officially, they were on training exercises, routine patrols. Nothing unusual. But these were not normal ships. They were the Tombstone Fleet, built in secret, tested in hidden space, armed with weapons the galaxy had never seen. Each ship had a crew of only 20 people. Everything else was automated. AI systems controlled the weapons, the engines, the defenses. Humans just gave orders, and the ships did the rest. Captain Maria Santos commanded the flagship, Retribution. She had lost family on the New Dawn. A cousin, his wife, their 2 children. She had grown up thinking they died in an accident, a drive failure. Space was dangerous, and sometimes people died. Now she knew the truth. They had been murdered, and she was going to make sure their killers understood what that meant. The Tombstone Fleet moved into position. The Krell Squadron was easy to track. They were not hiding. They wanted to be seen. Wanted humanity to see their power and be afraid. Santos watched them on her screens. 12 massive warships. Each one 5 times the size of Retribution. Crews of thousands. Weapons that could destroy planets. The pride of the Krell Dominion. Stealth systems active, her XO reported. We are invisible to their sensors. Good. Hold position. Wait for the order. 6 days they waited. 6 days of silence while the galaxy held its breath. The council debated. The Krell positioned themselves. Humanity said nothing. Then Admiral Chen's order came through. Execute Tombstone Protocol. Leave no survivors. Santos read the order twice. No survivors. That was not a military operation. That was an execution. But she thought about her cousin. About his children. About 50,000 people who died screaming in the void while the galaxy looked away. All ships, weapons free. Target locks confirmed. On my mark. She looked at the Krell ships one last time. They had no idea what was about to happen. They thought they were safe, powerful, untouchable. They were wrong. Fire. 12 human ships decloaked at the same instant. 12 ships that had been waiting in silence, watching, planning, preparing, and then the killing began. Santos watched the first Krell ship die. One moment it was there. The next it was gone. Just debris and plasma. The railgun round had hit at 90% the speed of light. The impact released more energy than 100 nuclear weapons. The ship did not explode. It simply ceased to exist. All across the battlefield, Krell ships died. Some tried to return fire. Their weapons shot at empty space. Human electronic warfare systems had blinded them. They could not see their targets, could not lock on, could not fight back. Some tried to run, tried to jump to faster than light speed and escape. But the human AI had calculated their flight paths. Railgun rounds fired 3 minutes earlier intercepted them. Ships tore apart as relativistic projectiles ripped through their hulls. 17 minutes from first shot to last. 12 Krell warships destroyed. 0 human casualties. Santos recorded everything, every angle, every moment. Then, she broadcast it on every frequency. She wanted the galaxy to watch. Wanted them to see what happened when you murdered humans and thought you could get away with it. Her final transmission was simple. The same words Chen had sent days earlier. We remember our dead. Remember yours. Admiral Cross then sat in his command chair aboard the battlecruiser. Dominance. Around him, his bridge crew worked quietly. Everything was perfect. 2, as it should be. His squadron floated in formation just outside human space. 12 of the finest warships in the Krell fleet. Each one a masterpiece of military engineering. Shields that could stop any weapon. Sensors that could detect a ship from light years away. Cannons that could crack a planet. He looked at the tactical display. Empty space, in all directions. No human ships, no threats, nothing. Still no response from the humans? He asked. No, Admiral. Only that one message 6 days ago. Return our dead. Crosses then almost laughed, remembering it. Such arrogance from a species barely out of its own solar system. They demanded. They made threats. They thought themselves equal to the Krell. He would teach them otherwise. Communications. Prepare a message to the human leadership. Tell them they have 1 hour to send representatives to negotiate. If they refuse, we will consider it an act of war. Yes, Admiral. It was all theater, of course. The humans would refuse. They were too proud. Too stupid. Then the Krell would have justification to strike. Destroy a few human bases. Teach them their place. The Council would condemn it publicly, but do nothing. That was how the galaxy worked. Admiral, sensor sweep complete. No contacts within 5 light hours. Excellent. Continue monitoring. I want to know the moment any human ship. Every alarm on the ship screamed at once. Cross then yerked upright. Report! Contacts. Multiple contacts. 12 ships directly ahead. What? They just appeared, Admiral. No FTL signatures. No energy readings before they appeared. They were just suddenly there. On the tactical display, 12 red markers appeared. Human ships. Small, compared to Krell vessels. Each one maybe a fifth the size of Dominance. But they were close. Too close. Weapons range. Shields up. All weapons target those ships. How did they get so close? 1. Shields up. Nobody answered because nobody knew. The sensors had shown empty space. Then, suddenly, ships. As if they had been invisible. Admiral, they are firing. Return fire. Destroy them. The weapons officer's hands flew across his console. Then he stopped. Stared. Admiral, targeting is not working. The system is not locking onto the human ships. What do you mean, not locking? Something is wrong with our computers. They are seeing the ships, but cannot lock weapons. Cross then felt the first touch of real fear. Switch to manual targeting. Working on it, Admiral. But Dominance shook. Hard. Red lights flashed. Damage alarms screamed. Report. Hull breach on decks 14 through 21. We have been hit. Shields? Shields are at full power, Admiral. They did not stop it. That was impossible. Krell shields could stop anything. Energy, weapons, missiles, projectiles. They were the best in the galaxy. Cross then pulled up the damage report. A hole straight through his ship. Perfectly circular. 3 meters wide. Going completely through the hull. Through 7 decks. Out the other side. What hit us? Unknown, Admiral. Sensors detected something moving at 0.93 light speed. A solid object. Not a missile. Just metal. Metal. They had been hit by a piece of metal moving almost as fast as light itself. The kinetic energy alone was beyond calculation. The shields meant nothing. They were designed for energy weapons and explosives. This was just physics. Mass times velocity. When velocity was close to light speed, even a small mass hit with the force of a star. Another ship in his squadron vanished from the tactical display. Just gone. 1 second it was there. The next, nothing but an expanding cloud of debris. Evasive maneuvers. All ships scatter, but there was no time. The human ships were not playing by the rules. They did not broadcast challenges. Did not give warnings. They just killed. Dominance shook again. And again. Each impact tore through the ship like it was made of paper. Systems failed. Bulkheads collapsed. People died. Cross then watched 4 more ships disappear from his display. The cruiser Vengeance. The destroyer Fist of Honor. 2 more battleships. All gone in seconds. Return fire. We cannot lock on, Admiral. Our targeting computers are compromised. Then shoot manually. Fire everything in their general direction. The weapons officer obeyed. Energy cannons fired. Missiles launched. Kinetic guns blazed. Enough firepower to destroy a small moon. All of it missed. The human ships moved, like they knew where every shot would go before it was fired. They dodged. They weaved. They danced between the attacks. And they kept killing. The battleship Unbreakable broke in half. The cruiser, Terror, exploded. 8 ships down. Only 4 left, including Dominance. "We need to retreat," his second-in-command shouted. Retreat. The word tasted like poison. Krell did not retreat. Krell did not lose. But his second was right. This was not a battle. It was a slaughter. All remaining ships, jump to FTL on my mark. Emergency coordinates Beta 7. 3, 2, 1. Jump. Dominance's FTL drive powered up. The stars began to stretch. They were going to make it. Then something hit the drive. The ship screamed. Metal tearing. Energy exploding. The FTL jump started, but wrong. The ship was between dimensions. Not in normal space. Not in FTL. Stuck. Cross then understood in his last moment of life. The humans had calculated this. They had fired a shot 3 minutes ago, knowing he would try to run. Knowing exactly where his ship would be. Knowing exactly when to hit the drive. Dominance tore itself apart across 3 dimensions. The crew died instantly. Cross then died, not understanding. How could humans be this good? This precise? This lethal? The answer was simple, but the Krell could not accept it. Humans had been fighting wars since they climbed down from trees. They had built weapons to destroy each other for thousands of years. They had nearly killed themselves multiple times and learned from every mistake. The Krell had centuries of military tradition. Honor codes. Rules of engagement. They fought wars like gentlemen. Humans fought wars to win. Fast. Brutal. Final. No honor. No rules. Just death. For anyone who threatened them. Captain Santos watched the last Krell ship die. 17 minutes total. Her crew was silent. They had just killed thousands. Maybe tens of thousands. Entire crews of enemy ships. Some of them looked sick. This was not how war was supposed to be. There should be fighting. Struggle. Risk. This had been execution. But Santos thought about the new dawn. About 50,000 civilians who died without warning, without a chance, who were hunted down when they tried to escape. Broadcast the footage, she ordered. All channels. Every frequency. I want the galaxy to see this. The communications officer obeyed. Every moment of the battle was sent out. The human ships appearing from nowhere. The Krell ships dying one by one. The desperate attempt to escape. The final ship tearing apart. And at the end, Santos sent one message. Her voice was calm, cold, final. We remember our dead. Remember yours. Across the galaxy, the message was received. Species in every system watched the footage. Watched the mighty Krell squadron destroyed in minutes. Watched humanity show what it could do. And in every military academy, in every council chamber, in every ship and station, people began to understand. Humanity was not like other species. They did not fight for honor. They did not fight for glory. Humans fought to survive. And they were terrifyingly good at it. The Galactic Council chamber was chaos. Representatives shouting. Accusations flying. 3 species had already walked out. 2 more were threatening to leave. The fragile peace that had lasted for centuries was cracking. Counselor then sat quietly while the storm raged around him. He had watched the footage. Everyone had watched the footage. 17 minutes of clinical, precise destruction. Humanity showing the galaxy exactly what it was capable of. Ambassador Talera of the Centauri was trying to speak. We must respond with force. Humanity has committed an act of war. They responded to an act of war committed against them. Someone else shouted back. That was 47 years ago. And you spent 47 years pretending it never happened. Then stood up. His voice was not loud, but something in his tone made everyone stop. Enough. The Krell provoked this fight. They sent warships to threaten humanity. Humanity responded. Under galactic law, they were within their rights to defend their territory. They annihilated an entire squadron. Yes, they did. Then looked around the chamber. Because we erased their dead, we took 50,000 lives and pretended they did not matter. We broke the fundamental rule of civilization. We denied justice. So, what do we do now? Someone asked. Now? Now we face the consequences of our actions. The debates went on for days. Some species wanted to declare war on humanity, send fleets to Earth, teach them a lesson. But nobody volunteered their ships. Nobody wanted to face the weapons that had destroyed the Krell Squadron in 17 minutes. Other species wanted peace. Negotiations. A way to step back from the edge. But humanity was not responding to messages. They had said nothing since Captain Santos's final broadcast. The silence was worse than threats. Finally, after a week of arguments, the Council reached a decision. A delegation would go to Earth. They would bring evidence of the cover-up. They would acknowledge what happened to the New Dawn. They would offer reparations, then volunteered to lead the delegation. It was the least he could do. He had stayed silent for 47 years. Time to speak. The journey to Earth took 3 days, then spent them reviewing everything. The New Dawn files, the cover-up, the council votes, all the little decisions that led to 50,000 deaths and 47 years of lies. When they arrived at Earth, they were met by Admiral Chen himself. He came aboard their ship, stood in their council room, looked at each of them with eyes that gave away nothing. Admiral, then began. We have come to discuss the incident. There is nothing to discuss. You erased our people. You sent warships when we remembered them. We responded. It is finished. We want to make amends. Reparations. Justice for the victims. Justice for the victims. Justice. Chen's voice was quiet but hard. Justice would be 50,000 Krell lives, but we are not murderers. We only killed your soldiers, your warriors, the ones who came to threaten us. We acknowledge that the New Dawn incident was wrong. We acknowledge the cover-up was wrong. We are prepared to recognize this officially. Chen pulled out a datapad. Here is what will happen. The Council will issue a formal recognition of the New Dawn massacre. You will release all files related to the cover-up. Every vote, every decision. Every person who knew and said nothing. That will destroy careers. Governments could fall. Good. Actions have consequences. The galaxy needs to remember that. What else? A memorial. At the site where the New Dawn died. Broadcasting the names of every victim. Forever. So nobody forgets. Agreed. What else? Chen was quiet for a moment. The galaxy sees humanity differently now. We know that. We are not the friendly children you welcome to the Council. We are something else. You are warriors, then said. We are survivors. We have spent 10,000 years learning how to kill each other. We nearly destroyed ourselves a dozen times. Then we went to space and thought maybe we could be different. Better. Then we found out our first contact was murder, and you buried it. So what happens now? Now we remember. The galaxy will remember too. A new rule. Very simple. Never strike humanity first. Because we keep perfect records, and our memory is longer than our mercy. The delegation returned to the Council with Chen's demands. The vote was unanimous. Everything humanity asked for would be granted. The New Dawn massacre would be officially recognized. The cover-up exposed. A memorial built. The Krell Dominion collapsed within a month. Evidence of other cover-ups surfaced. Other species they had destroyed and erased. Without political protection, without allies, they fell apart. Some Krell joined other factions. Others retreated to their home worlds. Their time as a galactic power was over. Commander Elena Vasquez led the team that built the memorial. It took 6 months. A station at the coordinates where the New Dawn had died. At the center, a monument. 50,000 names carved in stone and metal, each name lit by its own small light. The station broadcast continuously. Every frequency, every language, the names of the dead, over and over, forever. Elena stood in front of the monument. She touched some of the names: Marcus Chen, Sarah Williams, David Okonkwo. People who died alone in the dark, thinking nobody would remember them. "We remember," she whispered. Ships from across the galaxy came to the memorial. Some to pay respects, some to see it with their own eyes. All of them reading the names. All of them understanding what those names meant. This was humanity's line. Cross it and face the consequences. Admiral Chen visited the memorial on the first anniversary. He brought flowers from Earth. Real flowers. Expensive to transport across light years, but worth it. He placed them at the base of the monument. Read through the names. Thousands of them. So many lives. So much potential. All erased in minutes, because the Krell thought they could. A young reporter approached him. One of the new generation who had grown up knowing the truth about first contact. "Admiral, some people say we went too far. That destroying the entire Krell squadron was excessive." Chen looked at her. "Those 12 ships had crews totaling 18,000 people. We killed all of them. Yes, that was excessive compared to most galactic conflicts, but it was proportionate to what they did to us." "How do you mean?" "They erased our dead. Pretended they never existed. Made it so humanity's first contact with alien life was a lie. That was not just murder. That was theft. They stole our history, our story. And now? Now we have our story back. The real one. First contact was violence. But our response was stronger. The galaxy knows that now. They know what humanity is capable of. They know to respect us. Because they fear us. Fear. Respect. They are close enough. The important thing is they remember. Memory is everything." Counselor then came to the memorial 6 months later. He had resigned from the council. Too many years of compromise and silence. He needed to do something real. He stood in front of the monument for hours, reading names, thinking about the person he had been. The person he should have been. Elena Vasquez found him there. She had seen his file. Knew he had argued against the cover-up. Knew he had been overruled. "Counselor, former counselor, I resigned." "I know. Why did you come here?" "To remember. To apologize. Even if nobody hears it." Elena was quiet for a moment. 47 years you stayed silent." "Yes. I thought I was being practical. Realistic. Politics requires compromise. And now? Now I know that some things cannot be compromised. Justice, truth, memory. Your species understands that. Mine forgot." They stood together in silence. Around them, the station hummed with life. People from dozens of species moving through. All of them stopping at the monument. All of them reading the names. The galaxy was different now. Humanity was no longer the new species. The curious children learning galactic culture. They were a power. Respected. Feared. Known. And at the center of it all was memory. 50,000 names. 50,000 lights. Burning forever in the dark. The galaxy had tried to forget them. Humanity made sure the galaxy would never forget them again. Elena looked up at the stars through the station windows. Somewhere out there was Earth, home, and everywhere else, species that now knew the truth. Humanity remembers. Humanity keeps records. And when you wrong humanity, they make sure you remember too. That was the new rule. Not written in law but understood by everyone. A rule that would shape galactic politics for centuries to come. Never strike humanity first. Because they do not forget. And they do not forgive. They just make sure you remember.